So it's like almost 1 o'clock. It's like we finished an hour later. It's like everything just went longer. I know it's a weird day because he had his escort come over. This is from the orderly job. I managed to go to the gym, and the gym was decent. I held back a little bit. There's a lot of people there, but in the hopes of doing some tomorrow or today. But I mean, I'm going to be on very little sleep. I'm probably going to do it anyways. You know, then Friday I'm going to sleep in, and that's the goal. We'll see how it goes. But I'm still I'm okay because of the caffeine, because I had the caffeine later. Let's see if I can get to sleep. I might wash my hair, might not. We'll see, because I sweat. So I like to wash it every time it sweats. It's better for my scalp, and it's all oiled up, so good to that. But now I'm like kind of angry. It just, people getting my nerves. I'm lucky that it's the last day tomorrow. You know, that's all I can handle. Because, first of all, this guy on one of the apps hits me up, and he says he's visiting and he's leaving Friday, and I'm like, I'm only available Friday because I'm still working long shifts with this guy. You know, it's the morning and then it's night, like now, and I have to rinse and repeat and try to hit the gym in between with 4 hours sleep. So I might wake up at 8 instead of 7. I'm gonna see, and come a little later. I mean, it's the last day, because I mean we ended later, so whatever. But anyways, so then I ended the conversation with the guy on the app because it was like no sense in whatever. But he was calling me daddy, and I'm like, I don't know who daddy is, because I don't identify as that. You know, I don't like that role. It's not my goal. You know, I don't want no father-son type shit going on, you know. None of that immature shit. You know, deal with that with your own parents, you know. So I left it at that. Because, I mean, interest was gone, right? And then then it was like, he thought it was a good thing to say, yeah, I'm here visiting, and I met a lot of daddies here and all that. And I'm like, so why are you hitting me up? you just like nullified yourself. You're like, why do I care? You know what I mean? That's like unclassy. Like if you're whoring around, don't tell me that, you know, and expect an answer. So that was kind of like stupid. And then he just hit me up with naked pictures, and I'm like, I'm not interested anymore, you know. You showed everything. You know, especially when it's not a looker. It's like, watch what you say. You know, if you're even if you are a looker, it's like, I'm a little lenient initially if I'm really, you know, sexually attracted. But they don't do that sexually, you know, the lookers, you know. So anyway, so then combined with the guy I'm doing the orderly work with him, you know, it's a power trip for him because he has no control of his movements. You know what I mean? I understand it. He needs someone all the time, and then he'll cause drama because he's panicking for something. But then when I tell him like about plan B, plan C, plan D, what if this happens? Who are you gonna call? And this, he's like, oh, I don't think about that. It's gonna be really bad. you know, nobody's gonna die. Like he says something like that, you know, something stupid. Like I think it worst case scenario because it's good to know shit. It's not, you know, then you know the plan, so it's not a surprise. Like the other day, he didn't give me the key to come in, so I had to wait outside. And what was he gonna do? It was okay that it was during the day, and they managed to call one of the co-op people who went and reset the buzzer. But what if it was like early in the morning and no one's there? You know what I mean? It's like, how old are you? Think about these things. Don't brush it off like, oh, I can't think of all these things because it's like too much. Well, you gotta think of all these things. What the hell? You have no. You're like completely vulnerable. But anyways, so then then what happens is, I don't know, he has his escort over, so he has his BPAP, and he has, sorry about the wind, I'm gonna put my gloves on too. He has a nasal mask, so he could have his mouth free. Too much information. Usually it's another mask that's covering his whole face, well, his nose and mouth. But this one's just a nasal one. And so I removed it, cleaned it, but it was hard to remove because it was a white piece attached to the tube. So then I put on the regular mask, and I'm like, it didn't click like it usually does. And I think that triggered something in him, that there was another piece. How deep is the mask in the tube? Like a centimeter, like it always is, and it clicks. He's like, oh, the clicking has nothing to do with it. Like he's really causing like a kerfuffle. And he's like, well, if I can't breathe, I'm gonna die or whatever. I'm like thinking to say, like, you just said yesterday no one's gonna die. What do you know? Like he'll pick random things and you can see he's getting like upset. I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Like, rub it back in? Didn't you just rub it in his nose? Didn't you say no one's going to die? Anyway, so after a few minutes, he calms down. He's like, I'm like, this thing doesn't. He's like, pull up the gray tube to cover more. And I'm like, he's like telling me that. Just before he was telling me, we were talking about his hair because his hair is long. And I asked the question, how do you cut it? You have to, because you're in a wheelchair, you have to like sit in the shower and then your back is free so you can cut it because it's like down the middle of his back in a straight line. And so he's telling me that this guy is cutting it in front and it creates a straight line in the back. I'm like, no, it creates a V or a U shape. You have to equalize it in the back. Unless you do it in like little steps and you do it at a certain angle, but like, he's not a hairdresser. Like, maybe he knows what he's doing, but I don't think the guy telling me he knows what he's doing because he doesn't, because then he says, I don't know how he does. He takes 30 minutes to do it because he loves to do it. I'm like, you're probably not even looking at what the hell he's doing. So I'm coming up with ideas of how it can be done. Like if you flatten it on the head and you pull it down, but then you bring it to the front without disrupting the alignment of the hairs on the root. Okay. But like that's like talking Chinese to you. I mean, you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's just in one of those moods. It's like, I don't know, didn't you have fun with your escort? Came in and the whole place smelled like pot. Oh, this is a nice little color view. Anyways, so that combined with the guy on the app, it's just like, and now, you know, knowing I'm not going to get a lot of sleep, it's just, I'm at my wit's end. And I don't say anything. There's no point. But I'm a bit sarcastic. Not then. But actually, when he calmed down, after the whole BPAP tube, I'm going to die incident, I'm like, do you want me to check the tube again? Like he went back to normal. I was doing everything else, adjusting him, because it's very minutia, like the way because he can't do micro adjustments, so I have to keep doing it. He's like, do this, verify the ear, verify this, pull this, push my head forward, do this, and keep repeating it, you know? Put my hands together, pull the shoulder out, pull this, you know? Because once he's there, he's there. I understand that. When I did this at the health facility, the one that didn't keep me going, I understand that there were people with dementia who was like, had these weird requests, like they wanted their sheet, like a towel, to be at a certain angle, and like weirdest things, and they don't have half their brain sometimes, but sometimes they do. So I accommodate, you know, because I wasn't deep in relationship with them. With this guy, it's just one person, and he has his wits, but sometimes I think he doesn't. You know, that it's just a control thing. Like his ego is really high. I understand it has to be, because is this a fire? I guess so. So anyways, it's like homeless people. They like scream because they're in a psychosis. They have to feel in control of something. So I know it's the same thing with this guy. So I can't really say anything, but when I'm in it, you know, I just don't say anything. I just kind of dissociate for a second, because, like, let's say I'm brushing his teeth. He'll say a comment like, all the other orderlies do it well, it's easy for them and whatever. And I'm like, what do you want me to say to that? And who, you know? Well, you don't want me to come back again? What is it? What are you saying? You know? Do you have to say something stupid like that? What's the point of that? And he's talking while I'm brushing his teeth, and he doesn't talk well anyways, because he needs to have the tube in his mouth to take a few breaths before he talks. But when he's talking, he's got his mouth with the toothbrush in it, and he's taking his tongue and he's pushing the toothbrush off the teeth, and it's like, you're not helping. And I brought it up once. I said, like, I think you're pushing the toothbrush off with the teeth. It's like, I don't bring it up anymore. It's like, and when he talks, I'm like, I just do it, and then he'll eventually just say, okay, take it out, and then I take it out, and he'll tell me, I'm like, okay, this. I don't go over minutia with him, because it's, you know, what am I going to tell him, shut up when I'm brushing your teeth? Because I can't understand the word you're saying. I don't even think you can understand what you're saying. You think you're articulating, but it's like nothing. You know, stop talking, let me brush the teeth. Whatever. Because he doesn't trust. I guess understandably so, I guess, to be hypervigilant like that. Because, like, he doesn't. Yesterday I was filing his fingernails, and he doesn't trust anyone to cut them, like the guy who's full-time there. This kid from Belgium, he doesn't trust him with the cut. What do you want me to say to that, you know? So, and then there, you know, from the last video, we're still on the, we're the 21st, because it's now like 1 a.m, but let's say we're the 20th. The video before that, it was the same day. Then I did a live on the same day. But, you know, the issue with, I forget now, losing my train of thought. Just learn to kind of like not engage in some things, you know. And people were doing that at the healthcare facility. I kind of see it a little bit now, because people just talk to be to talk. You know, we're there to help them, not there for you to, like, if you have specific things to be done, but then you start arguments, and then it's like, no, it's like you're not appreciating anything. You know, patients are not supposed to be rude to the people taking care of them. You know, of course, the healthcare person is not supposed to be like both ways, dignity for the patient and dignity for the person taking care of it. And then it gets like really weird. Like where I was working at the healthcare facility, all these goddamn employees were getting frustrated all the time and they didn't care. Like, not here. I'm here with someone I like going to, but then it's just like, just kind of like hyper focuses on stupidity. It's like, let me just do things, you know, but that's from a lack of trust of anything. But then if that's the case, when we're talking later, don't say like, oh, I'm not going to focus on worst case scenario because no one's going to die. And then you completely do the opposite and panic when you think something's off. Don't be a hypocrite, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, so anyway, so that's my vent, my rant. Let me see if I can shut this off with my mitten here. Of course not. Take off the mittens.